Hello and welcome to the Fitting in Fitness interview series. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and if you're a busy woman who's looking for a more compelling reason to stick to her fitness routine than just to look good in her skinny jeans, you are in the right place. During this series, I'm interviewing some really awesome rock star women who are currently fitting fitness into their busy routines, and they're going to share with you how they got started, how having fitness as part of their routines has had a positive impact on their lives, and what you can do to start fitting fitness into your own life and changing your life today. So I'm so excited that you're tuning in to watch this series with us, and I hope that it inspires you to get moving this year and bring your business and life to the next level. So today's guest is Chantelle Adams. Chantelle Adams is a professional speaker, speech stylist, and courage igniter. Throughout the past 5 years, she has delivered over 800 speeches and added 6 figures to her business through speaking. Now she teaches women entrepreneurs how to own their story, write their signature speech, rock the stage, and get booked while adding more clients and cash to their business through speaking. If you are ready to get your brave on and share your message with the world, then come join the Courage Revolution and the Brave Tribe at www.thecouragerevolution.com. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Chantelle, today.
Well, I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited to chat with you. And I know we've been connecting over the past couple years, and so I love interviews. I love meeting with other fabulous women like you, and so this is an honor. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll dive right in, and the feeling's mutual. It's been great connecting with you too, and it's great to actually have the time and get to share what you have to say and inspire women with me. So I'm honored as well.
Great.
So yeah. So I guess my first question for you is, I have your bio, you have a really awesome business and exciting life that you have. What's kind of a day in the life of Chantelle look like?
Well, I'm a mama to 3 boys, and so the beginning of the day, I usually wake up a little bit earlier so that I can, and I'm one of those people who I do check my social media and emails first thing in the morning. I know all the gurus and everybody say, don't do it, but I just, that's a big part of who I am. I love connecting. So that's what I do. And then I always, jump into getting the kids off and ready to school. And then there is we'll talk a little bit more about that, but a few days where I set aside time to do my Zumba. I love Zumba. And that usually happens right after the kids are gone on certain days. And then I dive into work, and I'm working hard all day, from the time that I drop the kids off to the time I pick them up, and usually a couple hours after. Just because, as women entrepreneurs, we're busy. We wear all the hats, right? So you're
Yes.
doing the marketing, you're doing the sales page, you're creating the content, you're connecting with people, you're doing your social media. It's crazy some days, right? And so, yeah, that's my day. It's never boring. It's always fun. And there's always more on my to-do list than probably is humanly possible to get done. But that's why there's a next day.
And I think we're all like, it's hard too, when you're an entrepreneur, you're so passionate about what you do. It's hard to you love your life, you love your business too. So
yes,
cool.
It's hard for me to turn it off, because it is such a passion for me that I find that's one thing that I've struggled with is turning it off and making room for other things like fitness in my schedule.
Yeah, no, it's common. So you kind of gave a little insight into this, but how do you currently fit fitness into your really busy routine?
Yeah, so I try to get to Zumba is my favorite exercise, and so I have 3 days a week that I go to a class, and then one evening I also sneak in, and I find I'm going to work in another evening, because I just find, the kids are home, I've spent some time with them, but then if I can sneak away at bedtime or just after they've gone to bed, and that's a time when my brain is really foggy and I'm not very productive anyways, and so if I can go and move my body and get that exercise in then, instead of taking up time during the day when I'm most productive,
Sure.
I found that works really well. And then I'm all about quick, easy, turn on the music, dance it out in my kitchen. So for me, it's really about just when I start to feel stressed or overwhelmed or my brain's foggy, I log off and I go and crank up the music and do my own dancing around the house and get moving in that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
Keep it fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be serious, right? It should be something you enjoy. So I love how you fit it in that way and make it fun versus the serious thing you have to force into your routine.
Yes. It's all about, what lights you up, because, I've tried lots of different fitness things and classes and different things, and, it feels hard, and, and it can, I still need to include more weight training and things into that I don't love. But what I do is I tag it on to my Zumba. So I get there for Zumba. So I'm already at the gym. So it's not like I have to force myself to go back to do weights. And then I do like 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. But times a week of weights, I can fit in. I'm fast. So I'm like a multitasking queen. So it's like I'm doing arms and then I'm doing triceps. I go and do the whole, interval training and making sure I'm doubling up on exercises and not taking tons of breaks with my weight training. And then I can get a lot done in a short time.
Yeah, no, you can definitely. I mean, I trick myself too. I mean, I am a personal trainer, but I love running. And so, like, getting to the gym to do yoga and then, like, forcing myself to go early to do the strength is how I make myself do the strength training. So even I do that.
Good. There you go.
Very cool. So have you always had Zumba and the dance breaks as part of your routine, or is that something that's been a change, or can you explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had a lot of change in how I've worked out. My very first business out of high school I was a personal trainer as well. And but it was kind of funny because I realized that, I really loved helping people, and yet I wasn't really passionate about working out. So,
sure, yeah.
So I was like, okay, every little business kind of got me to where I am now, which it was a great way to get me to the gym and get me working out. And then after babies, I kind of fell off the bandwagon and was home, and that kind of thing happened. And then Zumba came out, and that's kind of what got me back in after babies. And I actually taught Zumba for a couple years and found that it was too much for me to prepare, but I love going. So that's where I'm at now, is just attending classes of other people.
Very cool. No, I love that. That's funny but being a personal trainer, you're kind of like a coach, so it really fits in with what you do now too. And that's the people part.
It was, and there was that reason behind thinking that was a route for me to go, was because, like, you change people's lives. It was just in a different way than I do now.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So how did adding fitness in, like, once you got that back and that Zumba piece, and how did that change and have a positive impact on your life and on your business? Can you talk about that a little bit, if that's something that actually happened or not?
For sure. I actually have some really cool experiences that have really attest to the fact that fitness and just moving and doing things you love too, like just adding in those pleasure breaks and those creative releases into your busy day are huge. Because one of my signature program, Center Stage, that's been a huge hit. Actually, the download of inspiration, it really came as like a super download, came after a Zumba class. So I took Zumba. I was in this like total elevated state because I love it. I come out of there skipping and feeling so good. And I had totally just it's like when you work out, you can leave everything. Right? You can just leave everything, and you're just focused on, well, for me, not falling on my face when I'm trying to do Zumba. But, so you're totally immersed. And I think that's so important, to have something where you totally get away from work and doing something that moves your body, gets those juices flowing, is so important. And then, on my way out, I had this total inspirational download. I sat in my car and I wrote out the entire framework for my Center Stage program in like 10 minutes after Zumba. But it just came to me, and it was like this moment of light bulb moment, right? And so I really believe that if we're infusing that active and creative time and space away from work, that we're going to have more moments of brilliance, or more moments of aha moments that are going to skyrocket our business. And so that was just one instant. And then there's been lots of times where I've been like feeling like I'm hitting a wall, and just things aren't falling into place, things aren't feeling right. And I realized, I haven't done anything but work for a few days. Like, I've been like totally head in because there's lots of things to do. And you think the best way to get things done is to be constantly on and producing. And yet it's very counterproductive actually, because you need that break. You need that time away. And so as soon as I realized that, because I'm one to fall in and out of the fitness routine, actually when you asked me to be a part of this, I was like, I don't know if I'm the best one because I seem to fall off the bandwagon. And then I realized, because I start to get into this rut, and then I go, oh, right, I need to get out there and do something. And even if it's just going for a walk when it's beautiful out, or getting into the fresh air, doing whatever, just movement, or like I said, dance breaks, really helps me to get back into kind of my genius zone.
I love that. I always feel like when I go for a run, that's when I have all these great ideas, I'm going to call them, because sometimes I come back and tell someone and they're not really that great, but at least but all the other inspiration. Yes. Yeah. I love that. So you kind of answered, my next question was going to be, like, do you always stick to it 100%? If not, like, how do you get back into it? Do you have any tips for, like, how do you get back into it and along those lines? Or
I think, like, for me, it's really just I've become aware of the fact of how much it affects me. And so it is about, I usually get to a point where I'm really stressed out and I'm feeling fatigued and I'm really feeling drained. And then that's when it goes, oh, right, I haven't been to the gym in 3 days or 5 days, or you know what I mean? So I haven't been being true to that part of what I know helps me. And I really get caught in that trap, because it's like when you see your to-do list and you only have so many hours in a day, you think, well, what can I let go of? And so I have at times let go of the Zumba class or the working out, and then I pay for it, right? And then it's like, oh, right. So if I take that hour, I'm actually more productive. I have more energy. I'm in a greater space. So even before this interview, I cranked up the music and I was dancing, and because that just gets me into the place of really being able to deliver at my highest potential.
I love how you share that. That's actually kind of, why I wanted to do this series, is that those of us who have had the experience of fitting in fitness for a while, and we know how we feel when we don't fit it in and how it actually does bring up our energy levels, I really wanted to share that, with other women. So that haven't maybe even tried yet. So I love how you've been able to share that, and that it does exist, not just for people like me in fitness that are like, yeah, it's really true.
It is. And it's something that I keep seeing over and over again. And it really is one of those wake-up calls where it's like, oh, right, I'm not taking care of myself. And if I'm not taking care of myself, how can I take better care of my clients and my business?
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you were to tell some busy woman who's really, focused on her business like we all are, and doesn't really feel like she has the time to fit in fitness, what would you tell her would be some tips for getting started? Or
yeah, for sure. I think, the biggest thing for me is finding something you love. And not feeling, and I think that goes for everything in business. I always teach, people that I work with, it's like, you do it the way you want to do it. So if the 3-part video training series leading up to lunch doesn't work for you, don't do it, right? If you want to do something totally crazy or whatever, do it. Because when you do things that feel good, you're going to do them more often. You're going to be more successful with it. And so same thing with fitness. I think if you find something that you really love doing, even if it's just walking along the beach or, or Pilates or yoga, or those things aren't for me, but or the Zumba or the weights, but finding a way that, you can enjoy it. And maybe it's doing it with a friend. If you're really social, you want to combine that with a friend or with your hubby or whatever to make it more fun that way. And then, of course, having it booked in. So that's something that I have now dedicated. I know, Wednesday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, you don't touch those times, right? Yeah. Whereas before it was like, oh, I'd miss those, because there'd be something that just came up. But now I have it scheduled in that if someone says, oh, can you meet this time or whatever? Nope, I've got something already booked in. So that's really important, is to schedule it in. And then, of course, my evening times are scheduled. So, and then just find different ways that you can just infuse quick doses
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a huge hour workout. And I know getting to the gym, like I'll say sometimes I'll be like, the Zumba thing is great, but like it takes 2 hours because I have to drive there,
Right.
and then drive home. And by the time it's all said and done, it's like 2 hours of my day. And so I start to justify. But then there's other things you can do at home, or like with me, just a quick dance break, or high intensity training where you only have to do it. There's tons of apps that you can just do like 10 or 20 minutes and you're done. Like, just infusing those into your day, I think is a great way to start.
I love that. Yeah. And I mean, even like the science shows us that you don't really need to do a long workout. You can split it up. And so I love that. Very cool.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have my little game for the interview series is coming up with a dare that you could tell our viewers that they could try to accept in order to start making some changes, taking some action with fitting fitness. And what would you dare our viewers to try to do?
Well, I love dares, by the way. So I am going to dare you to start doing something super simple, super easy every day, like a dance break, like, if dancing isn't your thing, but I think a lot of people love those dance breaks.
As long as no one's watching, right? It doesn't matter.
Okay, it's in your home. It's all good. But yeah, doing something really small and simple. Just more of like a movement break to start, like if you're just starting out, to just start to see the benefits that it'll have on your productivity and on your mood and on your creativity. So whether it's just getting outside for a 10 or 15-minute power walk, or turning up the music and dancing, or doing, sit-ups and push-ups, interval training, just in your living room, but just doing something small and simple every day for 2 weeks and notice the difference in your productivity and your business and how you feel and your energy level, and just take note of it. Because I think for me, it's all about results. So I'm horrible at taking like vitamins. Because I personally haven't, like I sometimes get sick with some, and I personally haven't seen immediate results. And I know that's bad. But with, like, say, echinacea, well, I see the immediate results. I know I'm so diligent. If I feel a cold coming on, I take my echinacea, right? So it's because I see a result. And I think when I saw the results of working out, that's where, or even just movement, right?
Yeah.
Away from work, that's where I was like, oh, okay, I do need to dedicate more time to this. I do need to make this a priority. And so I think that's where this dare will help some of those who are struggling with this to just notice that, oh yeah, it's not hard to do, or it doesn't take a ton of time and actually makes me more productive.
Love it. I love your dare.
Yay! And I was gonna say, can we do a little dance break?
We can if you have a good song.
Here's part of a dare. I like to take action on what I ask you to do right then and there. So hold on a second. Gonna get this song on. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you guys dance with me.
I'm gonna probably have to take these off.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size two, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to.
I have to get my I was a little off there because I'm.
Okay.
I love it. I took out my headphones so I could dance, and then I realized I couldn't hear the music very well. So that's my excuse for my questionable dance moves today. I love that though. Great song. Who was I talking? I was talking to someone that's saying Meghan Trainor is one of her big dance break inspirations lately.
Yeah,
so
I love it. Sorry I didn't even tell you I was going to do
no,
that. So
I love it. I love it.
You're being a good sport, so thank you.
Everyone else can get Meghan Trainor up and do the full song,
That's
as their homework.
Right. Right. Yes. So
no, I love that, Chantelle.
And there you go. So you guys have your first dance break down. So now you just got to keep going with it.
Yeah, awesome. No, it's fun. Very cool. And the other thing I've been asking people, since we're still near the beginning of the year, and a lot of people kind of had their word of the year or a mantra or even just a quote that you live by, is there something, another inspirational piece you could leave with us?
Yeah, for sure. So my word of the year is connection. And I really have felt, and this actually, it goes for every part of my life. And actually, as we've been talking, I realized that connection to my body too is part of it. So for me, the word connection, it was for business, to really build some strong relationships and not feel like, you have all these kind of associates or these people that you know and that kind of thing, but really to get to know people on a real more personal level and really supporting each other and building those connections on a deeper level, and then connection with my clients on a deeper level, and then with my family, being able to really connect with them. And I know I've worked really hard this past year, and I need to have a little bit more of that balance, and they need to see me away from my laptop a little bit more. And so that's a big part. And then I just realized actually connection to my body and what I need, like the self-care piece of it, is really a part of that connection word too. So it's taking on even deeper meaning for me in all levels of my life.
I love that. Yeah, I never really thought of that word of the year before until this year. I kept seeing it, and it's really cool. Like once you have it, you really do see how it really can connect, to use even.
That's right.
There to a lot of different things you're working on.
Yes,
cool.
and it's good. It's good because it's a good reminder of what you really want to see happen and what's really important.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So, Chantelle, I had a lot of fun with you today. We'll have to do a real dance break when I don't have my headphones in.
That's right. That's right.
But where can we find you so people that want to learn more about you and tell us all about that?
Yeah, so you heard it in the beginning, just thecouragerevolution.com is where you can find me online, and I have some great, free gifts, Courage to Fly book, and
I love that book, by the way.
Oh, good. Cool. Lots of amazing women sharing their stories of courage, and then also you get access to a free group online that we're in there just facing our fears in business and life, and really taking courageous action, because I believe that's really the method that you're going to be successful, is by taking courageous action. So that's the website, and then of course you can check me out online, social media, and I know you're going to have some of the links on there, so that's great. So yeah, Facebook, come and join me over there on Instagram or Twitter. Love to meet with you, love to connect, because that's my word. And then I also have, it's okay to share, I've got a free video training series coming out on February 16th. It starts, but it's not just a training series, because I don't just like those. We're going to have dance breaks every day, but it's going to be every day. It's going to have a PDF challenge. I'm going to be in a Facebook group. It's going to be so much fun, and it's all about speak your way to the top. So it's all for any of those business women entrepreneurs who want to add more speaking to their business and really increase their clients and their connection and their cash. Then come on over, and that you can find www.centerstagecourse.com.
Awesome, and I'll have all those links to everyone watching too. So that, but I love it when everyone, you actually have to describe it yourself, because you can see how exciting, it is. And
it's gonna be fun, and I'll have prizes. I like to. One of my big dreams is to be like Oprah or Ellen, and so I like to give things away. So probably not as big scale. I won't have a free car, but you never know.
It's always fun to win something, really.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what it is, but in the dance break, so they can be working on their dare.
That's right. That's right. We'll have it all encompassing there.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me again, Chantelle. It's been great having you.
Thank you so much. It's been fun, and it's great to just have a reminder myself of the importance of fitness and how much it makes a difference in life and business for when we actually take action on it.
Awesome. No, and I'm glad we can inspire people together and share your story, and it's awesome. And it doesn't have to always be like just going to the gym, like you were saying too. It can be fun.
That's right. It should be fun.
Very cool. Well, this is going to conclude today's segment of the Fitting in Fitness interview series. Don't forget that your dare from Chantelle is to fit in some movement every day for the next 2 weeks. Get those short bouts of movement. So dance breaks are, your recommendation, but you could do a little walk if that's more what you prefer. And we want to know if you accept it, so please let us know if you accept it, and you can find us on social media to tag us and let us know. We'll share all those links, and we hope that you do, and hope you'll come back and check out the other interviews and get inspired to get moving in 2015.